Brakle Hawa, Brakle Hawashai, Brakle Hawa, Brakle Hawashai, Koholo Yahweh, Bashim Hawashai, Bashim Hakadesh, the bonds of Apostle Elders, the great millstone that taught me this 100% truth to rule well. Salutations to the Yakim out there pushing the truth from all sincerity and which their lives to do so. Salutations to the hopeful elect that are scattered on the four corners of the earth that believe in the truth. Yahweh Bashim Hawashai, Shalom. This is Joel 2:27, which reads, "And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord your power, and none else, and my people shall never be ashamed." So the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Shai, is only the God of the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? All these other nations, you know what I'm saying, the Lord do not know, you know, because the Lord didn't choose them. You know what I'm saying? The Lord has only, chosen the nation of Israel. So there's no other nation, that could come to the Lord and serve him. You know what I'm saying? Because the Lord didn't choose these other nations. You know what I'm saying? So, in plantation Christianity, they promote that anybody who loves the Lord or believes in the Lord, who they ignorantly call Jesus Christ, you know what I'm saying, which is a made up character that they created, even the so called white man, to push forth white supremacy, you know what I'm saying, who, that image is an image of Cesare Borgia, you know what I'm saying, who's a homosexual and, um, someone that's committed incest and a murderer. You know what I'm saying? They're the the first crime family. You know what I'm saying? But you know the purpose of Esau Edom, uh, putting that forth is for one, he wanted to try to get his blessing back. You know what I'm saying? That it was never intended for him to have the blessing anyway. The Lord had already granted that to Jacob. But the Lord created a scenario into what it seems as the blessing was stolen away from him, but that wasn't so. But that's part of the Lord's theatrics. You know what I'm saying? He loves controversy. You know that's the this what you got to understand is that we're just beings that the Lord has created for His entertainment, and these are uh, the dramatics of His story. You know what I'm saying? There's a villain and a hero. You know what I'm saying? And our hero is Yahweh Shai. And the villain, you know, uh, in this story is Esau Edom. You know what I'm saying? And his descendants. And the Lord is going to rescue um, His people. You know, um, the nation of Israel, the seed of Jacob. You know what I'm saying? From the hands of his enemies. You know what I'm saying? And that's the story that the Lord has created. Whether you like it or not, you know what I'm saying? It's true. This is, what the Lord has put forth. And, we're just here, to play that out. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord has chosen his people, the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? Um, and, you know, these heathen nations, they can't, you know, rely upon the Lord or come serve the Lord because he hasn't chosen them to do so. So you got people like Vocab Malone, he always coming against them in the Lord, and, running up on different camps of, Great Millstone or whatnot, and, uh, supposedly defending the gospel, but he's just, that's part of the, the Lord story too, Scarface or whatnot. And, he's just fulfilling his lot, you know what I'm saying? It's nothing that he can do to, um, go against that. You know what I'm saying? That's what the Lord created him to be. He created him to be a scoffer, of a heathen nation to come against the Lord. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because he's just, the Lord's enemy. As you know, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, is the chief enemy of the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? So he's just fulfilling his lot. But, you know, uh, plantation Christianity, it's pretty much done with, and it's on its way out. Um, the Lord has put His truth in the earth, and he, the white man, he's been exposed, for who for who he is. You know what I'm saying? Through the power of Yahweh Shema Shai, through the prophets that he's set forth to be on the highways and byways, and to make these epistles, you know, using the internet, you know what I'm saying, to expose this devil and wake up his elect, you know what I'm saying? So you know, that's what we're experiencing right now, you know, because, you know, the Lord is paving the way to rescue his people from their captivity. And that's where we're at. But let's get into the next scripture. This is uh, this is uh, second address, second address 6, oh no, 50. I want to start at 54, right? 54. Second address 6 and 54, which reads, "And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen." Yeah, so through Adam, you know, was created all the nations, as you know, um, during the flood, you know, the Lord uh, wiped out the earth, you know, which which was the first death, and you know, through the three sons of Noah, you know, Noah and his family was part of the elect at that time, but you know, because the Lord saved him and spared his family, right? So through his three sons, um, Japheth, Ham, and Shem, Slakia, you know what I'm saying? Went blank there for a minute, which is, you know, our line, you know what I'm saying? The line of Jacob. Um, you know, of all the people of earth came through that line, through these three men, you know? But the chosen line, which is came through the line of Shem, is the Lord's people. And those are the only people that, you know, the Lord cares about, as we're going to read here. "All these have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes." Yeah, the Lord made the world for his chosen people, the elected nation of Israel. "As for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing but like unto spittle, and hast likened them abundance. It's like and have likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel." So, yeah, so the Lord don't give a shit about the other nations. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't choose them. You know, they're here for a purpose. You know what I'm saying? They're here to be servants unto the nation of Israel. Because the Lord created us, you know what I'm saying, uh, to rule over all the nations. You know what I'm saying? He created this place for our sakes, you know? And these other heathen nations were to follow after us, and we were to lead the way or whatnot. And, you know, um, these other heathen nations were to follow. You know what I'm saying? But because of our disobedience to the Lord, we fell. And that's why, you know, these other nations rule over us to this day. But the Lord is going to, you know, restore his people as he has promised. And this, you know, this is, you know, what this is about here, that the Lord is going to restore his people, even though we went off as a people. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is going to put us back in the power seat in his return. You know, that's the, you know, the love that the Lord has for his people. You know, even though, you know, we rebelled and, you know, been against the Lord and, you know, been wicked unto the Lord, being disobedient, the Lord has an everlasting love for his people. But, you know, all that comes with correction. You know what I'm saying? We've been corrected, you know, by his hand, by, you know, going into these captivities and, you know, reaping our punishment for what we have done. But at the end, we're going to be restored because that's the promise that He gave it to us. But you know, nothing goes unpunished. You know what I'm saying? For our disobedience, the Lord had to punish us, and that's why we had to suffer. And what these heathens believe, you know, they think that they could have treated, the nation of Israel any way they wanted to, what I'm saying, and still receive part of our blessing as well. But that's not so, you know what I'm saying? But that's what, they came up with the whole plantation Christianity because they just don't want to have to, go through their suffering, you know what I'm saying? They think that, oh, well, uh, we can do or treat the Lord's people as we want it, and we can still receive a part of the blessing. The Lord is still going to have mercy on us, as well. He's going to have mercy on them. No, we had to reap our punishment, so you're going to have to reap yours as well. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to receive part of our blessing. We're not going to be cursed as a people, and then, not receive and receive our blessing and allow other heathen nations to partake in our blessing too. Nah, because you ain't have to go through the curses. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have to experience the curse that the Lord placed upon the nation of Israel. So how are you going to receive our blessing? And that's what this devil Esau Edom wants. He don't want to have to reap. He wants to get his blessing twice. You know what I'm saying? The Lord gave him his blessing. He's in the power seat right now, as the Lord has promised for him to gain rulership. You know what I'm saying? By the sword, and he's done that. You know what I'm saying? But now he also wants to receive the blessing of the kingdom of heaven that's been given to the nation of Israel, but that's not going to be so. You know what I'm saying? Renewing all this have I spoken thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes. Yeah, the world was made for the nation of Israel. As for the other people which also came of Adam, thou hast said, they are nothing but like unto spittle, and has likened the abundance of them unto the drop that falleth from a vessel. And now, O Lord, behold, these heathen, which have been even reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us and to devour us. Yeah, the Lord allowed these nations to be lords over us and to devour us. Why? Because that's part of our judgment of the nation of Israel for being disobedient to Him. But we, thy people, whom thou hast called us thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into their hands. If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure? And this is until the Lord take Esau Edom out of the way. That's why the Lord says Esau Edom is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of that followeth. You know what I'm saying? Because we're here in Babylon the Great, the land of our captivity, which we're the nation of Israel scattered among the four corners of the earth. But the main captivity is Babylon the Great, which what they call today as uh, um, so-called America. You know what I'm saying? The United States of America. This is a prison sentence. We're here serving a prison sentence until the Lord comes. You know what I'm saying? That's why, we face the things that we face here in Babylon. Because we're in the hands of our enemies. You know what I'm saying? That's why we get treated the way we do by these heathens. Because we're serving a punishment, and those are of our people, the 2/3. They don't get that. They don't think that we're here. They think they're supposed to be blessed while in their in their punishment. You know what I'm saying? Like the Lord will bless you and certain, give you certain things for survival in your captivity. But this is not our rest. You know what I'm saying? We're not here to seek in peace amongst our enemies. You know what I'm saying? We're seeking redemption for those of the elect. We're seeking redemption, Lord willing. I'm amongst that number of the hopeful elect here in this captivity. We're seeking redemption from the Lord to get our get back. You know what I'm saying? So we're content with the things that the Lord provides us here daily to make it through our captivity. You know what I'm saying? We're not here, are eager to, try to flourish here in Babylon the Great, because we know this is not our rest. And, we know this is a temporary situation for the nation of Israel. So we're just here, uh, you know, getting by in this captivity. You know what I'm saying? Until the Lord comes to restore his people, you know? So we don't put all our eggs in one basket trying to, thrive here in Babylon the Great. You know what I'm saying? We're more so looking for the kingdom and, doing things to try to please the Lord so he can help us get through this captivity and rescue us from the hands of our enemies. So this is, I think it's Baruch 4, and I'm going to start at 5, which reads, "Be of good cheer, my people, the memorial of Israel." So the Lord is talking to his people as usual. You know what I'm saying? This book, the Bible is not a book that's written to all the people. You know, it's written to his people. You know what I'm saying? This is documentation that the Lord has left for us, to turn into him. You know, this is a love letter that he's written to the nation of Israel, telling you that, he's going to restore us and it's coming. You know what I'm saying? This is the promise that he has left into us. And that's why you when you see the men of the Lord having a proper understanding of the scriptures, because, this book been around for thousands of years now. And, these other heathen nations has grabbed it and came with their own doctrine and presenting it to us, telling us that everybody can be saved and the Lord loves everybody, no matter who believes upon him. They can call upon Jesus Christ, who is their idol God or whatnot. But now, in these last days, the Lord has put truth back into the earth, and the true proper wisdom and understanding of the scriptures are coming out here. And that's why you see so many people try to come against the men of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want to bow down unto the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to come up with any way to come against the men of the Lord to disprove, the scriptures. But they can't. You know what I'm saying? They have no answer because, what their doctrine, what they've created, it has too many holes in it. And there's no holes found in the truth of Yahweh Shema Shai. You know what I'm saying? So they know it's over. It's over for them. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people are leaving plantation Christianity because of this. Why? Because the Lord has put this truth back into the earth. And, a lot of people, they don't believe, who once believed in Christianity, don't believe anymore because the truth has been exposed. They know they can't come to the Lord and serve him. You know what I'm saying? They've been fooled, they've been bamboozled, by their forefathers, you know, to believe in a false thing. And even some of our people who are trapped in that mind state, they still believe it. But that's part of, the story too. Because, 2/3 of the nation of Israel got to be destroyed here in Babylon the Great. So the Lord is not, dealing with them either. So that's why they're trapped in that mind state. But they're going to be restored in the nation of Israel. You know, um, our people, those of our people that get destroyed inside, they're going to be restored in the kingdom. Because that's the promise that the Lord has promised to the nation of Israel. For them to restore and to flourish and to rule over their enemies, in their kingdom, which is to come. Reading on, you were sold to the nations not for your destruction, but because ye moved the Lord to wrath, ye were delivered into your enemies. Yeah, so the reason why we were delivered unto our enemies, the Lord is telling you here, because we turned against the Lord. We sinned against the Lord, so the Lord sent us into captivities, and the Lord would bring us out of captivities, and then we'll still go off to against the Lord, because in our captivities we picked up the ways of the heathens, and we these heathens, they worship and they serve other gods or whatnot, and a lot of our people picked up those ways. So even when the Lord restored us from our captivities, when he got us right, we slip back into those ways of, heathen worship, and the Lord would, bring us into another captivity. And that's the Lord uses these nations as a rod to punish the nation of Israel. And his chief rod, or his chief sword, is Esau Edom, the so-called white man, who is the arch nemesis of the Lord and his people. You know, Jacob, his seed. You know what I'm saying? Esau Edom is, even though he's our brother, he's our enemy because he's a different nation. You know what I'm saying? And you know, he's our enemy. And right now, the Lord has given him the upper hand because that was a promise that was also given unto him. You know what I'm saying? But, the Lord about to end that and, allow us, to have these heathens as an inheritance, as he has promised to us. And so the Lord said, ask of me, and I should give the heathen as an inheritance. And that's what's about to take place here. And the Lord's coming, because we're coming up on Esau's Edom destruction, soon to be. Read on, for ye have provoked me that made you by sanctification, Asaka, for ye have provoked me that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not to the Lord. Ye have forgotten the everlasting power that brought you up, and ye have grieved Jerusalem that nourished you. For when she saw the wrath of the Lord coming upon you, she said, Hearken, O ye that dwell about Zion. The Lord hath brought upon me great mourning. For I saw the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting brought upon them. Yeah, the Lord brought this captivity upon us for being wicked unto him. With joy did I nourish them, but sent them away with weeping and mourning. So this is the Lord that caused us to weep and mourn because of the wickedness that we've done, bringing the heathens up high above us. Going back to the curses of Deuteronomy 28, you know what I'm saying? Showing you that, these curses were placed upon Israel for a sign and a wonder to show you who the people are in these last days. You know what I'm saying? The Lord, put these curses upon us so you can, as a stamp to show you who his people are, which is you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, because these curses are still upon us. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord, disperses among the four corners of the earth to serve our punishment and out to our enemies. And, we would be drawn out of the land of Israel. And the Lord said he was going to restore us and take us back into the land of Israel. So those people that's in the land of Israel, how could they be the people of the Lord if the Lord said he was going to bring them back? You know what I'm saying? But that's a question a lot of these people, they don't give the answer to. That way of rite of passage, you know what I'm saying? That Balfour Declaration of the 1948ers, that's not, that's not how the Lord said he's going to bring his people back. So that that they got to be the imposters. You know what I'm saying? But they do fulfill the prophecy of going into the land and taking it and dividing it, among themselves. You know what I'm saying? That's the prophecy they had fulfilled. You know what I'm saying? So they did fulfill the prophecy in that aspect of it, but for them to be the people that the Lord's people that are restored into the land is not so, because the Lord was going to bring them back. You know what I'm saying? And that's where we're approaching, the rescue of the nation of Israel from the land of their captivities and being restored into their homeland. But that's going to be done at the hands of Yahweh Shem Hashai. Reading on. Let no man rejoice over me, a widow and forsaken of many, who for the sins of my children am left desolate, because they departed from the law of the Lord. Yeah, we departed from the way of serving the Lord. We departed from his commandments that he gave unto us. You know what I'm saying? So we're being punished for that. They knew not the statutes, nor walked in the ways of the commandments, see? Nor trod in the paths of discipline and his righteousness. Yeah, because we fell away from the Lord. Let them that dwell about Zion and remember ye the captivity of my sons and daughters, which in everlasting have brought upon them. For he hath brought a nation upon them from them from far, a shameless nation, and a strange language, whom neither reverence old man nor pity child. Yeah, and that's what the Lord did. You know what I'm saying? The Lord, after the northern kingdom went into the Assyrian captivity, the Lord sent them over here to what they call America, Babylon the Great. It's like what they call America, uh, what today is so-called America or whatnot, which in the scriptures is referred to as Babylon the Great. The Lord sent us into this side of the earth, because we were in the eastern world, but the Lord sent us over here where no man dwelleth, the northern kingdom over here first, or whatnot, after their captivity, right? So Christopher Colombo came over here, and he came with Hebrew interpreters. Why? Because he knew that, because he read Second Esdras 13, and he knew that, there were uh, Israelites over here, or he knew that, and the Hebrews were over here. The Hebrew Israelites were over in this land. That's why when he came, he brought a Hebrew interpreter with him to this land. You know what I'm saying? And if there wasn't Hebrew Israelites over here, why would this? Why would Christopher Colombo need to bring a Hebrew interpreter? Because he knew where he was coming. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord brought him over here purposely. And it was a chariot actually that led him over here to where the nation. I think they call it the fire of Saint Elmo, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? That led, which is the chariot that led Christopher Colombo over into this side of the world to take the nation of Israel into captivity. You know what I'm saying? As he prophesied, the Lord said he brought a shameless nation upon us in the language we did not know, because we didn't speak their language. We spoke Hebrew. So they had to bring. That's why this devil, when he came, he brought a Hebrew interpreter with him. You know what I'm saying? Because we didn't understand their language. So it's all part of the fulfillment of prophecy that we had to be taken into captivity, which is this last captivity in Babylon the Great by this devil, before the Lord restored our people, showing you that this book is true. You know what I'm saying? Reading on. These have carried away the dear beloved children of the widow, and left her that was alone, desolate, without daughters. But what can I help you? For he that brought these plagues upon you will deliver you from the hands of your enemies. Yeah, so it's the Lord that's going to deliver us from the hands of our enemies. You know what I'm saying? The Lord brought these plagues upon us, Esau, Edom, and these heathen nations upon us as a punishment unto him for going off. And it's the Lord that's going to save us from the hands of our enemies. That's why he sent Yahweh Shai here. You know what I'm saying? Because, as the scriptures say, he was, born to save the nation of Israel from their sins, and that, he was sent to rescue his people from their enemies. You know what I'm saying? That's the purpose of, Yahweh Shai, his birth, being born, is to restore his people, the nation of Israel. Not to go and give restoration or salvation unto all nations. No. There's only one nation that the Lord is coming to restore and give salvation to. It's his people, the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? That's what he put his life on the line for, not any other nation. And this is Eschatologicus of Ben Sirach 45 and 17. he gave unto him his commandments and authority in the statutes of judgments, that he should teach Jacob the testimonies and inform Israel in his laws. Yeah, so the laws and the commandments were only given into one nation, and that's the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the Lord is coming to restore, because the Lord is only the God as the God of the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? He's not the God of all these other nations, because he wasn't dealing with the nations. You know, he was only dealing with us, his people. You know what I'm saying? That's why he gave the statutes and the commandments unto Jacob. You know what I'm saying? For his people to follow. And that's why we reap so much hell in these captivities, because we went away from the Lord. That's why we received the most punishment, because this was something that a covenant that the Lord made with his people. He didn't make this covenant with all the other nations. You know what I'm saying? That's why they don't suffer like we suffer. We suffer the most because why? We're under the curses, and the Lord brings plagues and judgment upon his people. You know what I'm saying? For the disobedience that we have done against him. You know what I'm saying? That's why we catch hell now. This is Psalms 147:19, which reads, he showeth his word unto Jacob, his statute and his judgment unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation. As for his judgments, they shall not know them. Praise ye the Lord. Yeah. Nobody else knows or feels the wrath of the Lord like the nation of Israel, because the Lord don't know the other nations. He gave his laws and his statutes unto Jacob. You know what I'm saying? The nation of Israel, and because he's the God of Israel and none else. This is Jeremiah 32:37, which reads, behold, I will gather them out of all countries, whither I have driven them in my anger and in my fury and in great wrath, and I will bring them again unto this place, and I will cause them to dwell safely, and they shall be my people, and I will be their power, and I will give them one heart and one way, that they may fear me forever, for the good of them and their children after them. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them, that I will not turn away from them to do them good, but I will put my fear in their hearts, that they shall not depart from me. Yeah. And that covenant that the Lord is making, that everlasting covenant, is that new covenant that he's going to make with the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? So that we can never fall away from the Lord, that we'll be perfect. He's going to get rid of that stony heart and give us that fleshly heart, that perfect way, that perfect mind, to never go away from the Lord again. So we're not going to be tempted to serve other gods in our restoration once the Lord restores. You know what I'm saying? Because he's only dealing with us. Because the Lord is telling you here that he's going to gather us from all the lands that he scattered us into, as part of our punishment of being disobedient to him, and him scattering us and making us go into captivity amongst our enemies. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord is, going to gather us in these last days and restore his people and make a new covenant with them. You know what I'm saying? And that new covenant is only for the nation of Israel. So you like plantation Christianity doesn't make sense. How are we in a new covenant right now, and the new covenant is only made for Israel? How can you be part of the covenant if you're not under the nation of Israel? You can't be. You know what I'm saying? So Christianity doesn't even make sense in that aspect of when they're saying that the Lord gave his only begotten Son for the world and whatnot, and anybody who calls upon his name can serve him. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make any sense, because everybody's not Israel. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you have the heathen nations. That's why they go into the aspects of, the Gentiles and the Greek, whatever, not understanding, not having the true understanding of the scriptures. Because when the Lord get into Gentiles, he's talking about the Israelite foreigners that are trapped in a Gentile mind state. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with the word Grecian. Those are Hellenists. You know what I'm saying? Are Israelite foreigners that were just uh, practicing Grecian ways or the way of the heathens. You know what I'm saying? So they take it as, them, when the Lord's talking about heathen, that he's talking about the heathen nations. No, there's two separate types of heathens. There's the heathens of his people, you know what I'm saying, that take upon the ways of the heathen, and there's heathen nations, you know what I'm saying? Just like the same thing with Gentiles. There's Gentiles of the nations, and there's Gentiles of the nation of Israel that are taken upon Gentile ways, so they can refer to as Gentiles or whatnot. And that's the misunderstanding of being misconstrued or not having a proper understanding of the scriptures that plantation Christianity teaches you, was causing you confusion. But you know, now the Lord has his truth back into the earth. He has his men, his prophets that he's raising up in these last days to give the proper understanding of the scriptures. And that's what's, causing this, this fallout in Christianity, so so-called Christianity, because the Lord, got his truth back in the earth. And that's why there's so much uh, that's so many attacks, against, the true men of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Because they're pissed off, that the Lord has, you know, brought his truth back into the earth. And truly they're afraid, you know what I'm saying? They're afraid of, what the men of the Lord are saying is true. And they know it. A lot of them know it. You know what I'm saying? But, they're still going to have to fulfill their lot of coming against the Lord. And, uh, and reap their judgment for that as well. You know what I'm saying? Because, scoffers is just part of prophecy, you know? But now, because the truth is back in the earth, they're, they got to go to the scriptures and they got to read. The proper understanding of the scriptures has been brought up by the prophets because they're anointed by the Lord to do so. You know what I'm saying? So now, you know, the Lord is forcing these Christians to have to go and actually read and study the scriptures now. But they clearly understand the scriptures now. Why? Because the Lord has his prophets breaking it down properly for them to understand. You know what I'm saying? Because they wasn't telling us these things all before. You know what I'm saying? That there's going to be that salvation is only for the nation of Israel, and that that there's going to be slavery in the kingdom to come. They don't tell you that in plantation Christianity. You know what I'm saying? They only teach you prosperity. You know, but the Lord has exposed this truth into the world. You know what I'm saying? And expose these false religions for what they are. So they got to go back to the drawing board and find a way. But Esau, this devil, he done with it. He already know it's been exposed. You know what I'm saying? That's why he's getting ready to push his mark. That's why he done all these things, like the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? When the men of the Lord came on the scene, and this word started to go out heavy, he knew what was up. He was like, oh shit, this is it. Our time is up. The Lord done woke up his men. He got them on the highways and byways. He's exposing us. So we got to, rev this thing up. So he gave his practice one with the pandemic, of forcing you have to take his vaccination and things like that to see how many people will fold when he bring his mark on the stage, which he's getting ready to do, because he's going to cause his financial system to collapse so he can push his mark, and everybody got to get chipped. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's getting ready for. He's preparing the way for that. You know what I'm saying? Because he know the gigs is up. He don't give a shit about Christianity no more. That's done. You know what I'm saying? So he getting ready to, press forward with his mark, and he's gonna come down. He gave you a little taste of it when he came with the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? He's really gonna roll hard, heavy. You know what I'm saying? Because the Lord said that this devil gonna come down with great wrath, but he's gonna really roll heavy when it's time to place his mark, because he's going to try to do whatever to hold on to this enterprise, his kingdom. You know what I'm saying? And that's the spirit that the Lord is going to have him in. But it's all going to be for his detriment, for his downfall. Read on, and I will give them one heart and one way. Oh, sorry, we read that already. I'll read it again. And I will give them one heart and one way, that they may fear me and and forever, for the good of them and their child after them. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them, that I will not turn away from them to do them good, but I will put my fear in their hearts, that they shall not depart from me. Yea, I will rejoice over them to do them good, and I will plant them in the land surely with my whole heart and with my whole soul. For thus says the Lord, like I as I have brought all this great evil upon these people, so will I bring upon them all the good that I have promised them. Yeah, so the Lord brought all this evil upon us, making us suffer at the hands of our enemies in this captivity. And the Lord saying He's also going to bring the good upon us, which He's promised us, which is, that everlasting covenant, that immortality, and to rule over our enemies and receive them as an inheritance. That's what's getting ready to come into the nation of Israel. And this is Hebrews 8:8. For finding fault at them, He saith, Behold, the days cometh, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Again, the Lord tell you here, like we just read it, that covenant. But who is He making it with? His people. You know what I'm saying? The nation of Israel, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. Like we said, the house of Israel and the house of Judah. The Lord is only making His new covenant with His people. No other nation is going to be a part of this covenant. This is who the Lord has promised this into, this restoration into. His people, the same people that went against Him and rebelled. And that's what goes into that whole grafting in again. You know what I'm saying? That we read, I think it's Romans 11, that the Lord was going to graft us in again. Why? Because we departed from the Lord. We went off. We started serving other gods, worshiping, making sacrifices to devils, as the scriptures say. You know what I'm saying? And then, the Lord restored us, woke us up, and we were grafted back in again. And the Lord is, uh, waking up the hopeful elect so He can give salvation into His people. You know what I'm saying? Because only the Lord is only going to rescue, a third of His people here in Babylon the Great, and the remnant that are scattered among the four corners of the earth, or the elect spirits that the Lord has chosen to save in these last days. And these are the people of His, and these are the people of His people, the nation of Israel, that He's going to save. Is the hopeful elect. You know what I'm saying? Because all of the nation of Israel ain't going to be saved, because part of them got to receive judgment too. You know what I'm saying? So if the Lord's not going to give salvation or rescue all His people on this side, and they got to receive judgment, how in the hell is He going to give salvation to the heathen nation? That don't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? Because He's not. Because he's only coming to rescue His own. Reading on, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continue not in my covenant, and I regard them not, saith the Lord. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws in their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a power, and they shall be to me a people. Yeah. The Lord is going to only give this covenant to his people, the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? And He's going to write it in our minds, in our hearts, which is our minds, that we should not forget who He is. We can't. The game's been fixed. You know what I'm saying? The Lord will make it so that we can't ever sin against Him again. We're going to be perfect, mind, body, and soul, and we're going to be immortals, because we won't be able to sin against the Lord. And these other heathen nations will be mortals, and they're going to be judged upon the new covenant that the Lord's make with us. The Lord's statute and commandments that He's going to set forth under our rulership. So they're going to have to follow our way. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be the example of, the of righteousness in the earth. And they're going to have to come unto us for guidance. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to have to follow after our way, just like we do in our captivities. We have to follow the laws and the statute that these heathens place forth. It's going to be no different in our kingdom. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have to abide by our way, which is going to be the righteous way. Be knowing, and they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for all shall know him, from the least to the greatest. For I will, for I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sins and their iniquities will I remember no more. Yeah, because the Lord is going to wipe away the sins of the nation of Israel, and we're not going to have to teach anybody the law, statute, and commandments of the, because it's already going to be known. It's going to be written inside of us that we can't go off. So we're not going to have to teach each other, but we will teach each other nations. You know what I'm saying? Because we're going to be a light into them. You know what I'm saying? They're going to come to us for the way. And this is Jeremiah 29:14, which reads, And I will be found of you, saith the Lord, and I will turn away your captivity, and I will gather you from all the nations, from all the places whither I have driven you, saith the Lord, and I will bring you again into the place whence I had caused you to be carried away. Yeah, so the Lord, to be carried away captive. Yeah, so the Lord is going to gather us for the four winds of the earth from all the lands of our captivities, and He's going to restore us into our lands. You know what I'm saying? In His coming, He's going to restore the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to be gathered up from all the ways that we were led captive into, and we're going to be placed into our land. You know what I'm saying? The Lord's going to rescue us from amongst our men, uh, rescue us from among our enemies, where we're serving out our captivity. This is Jeremiah 16:14, which reads, Therefore, behold, the days cometh, says the Lord, that it shall no more be said that the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. Yeah. So as you know, the first Exodus is the Lord rescuing us from the Egyptians. You know what I'm saying? That first salvation that we receive from the Lord and saving us from our enemies is going to be no different this time. But this is going to be the great Exodus. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord is explaining that here. It's not going to be remembered no more. That old Exodus that we had when the Lord rescued us, the nation of Israel, from Egypt, the great Exodus is going to be the destruction that He's going to bring to Babylon the Great, which is ruled by Esau, Edom, and so-called white men, and the rescue of His people from there. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going to be talked about in our kingdom. You know? Renewing. But the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel for the land of the north, and the land of the north is, Babylon the Great, this captivity, so-called America. You know what I'm saying? What is this known as? North America, right? You know what I'm saying? That's not a coincidence. That's the Lord letting you know. This is where His people were going to be in these last days, serving out the punishment. As you read in Jeremiah, I think it's 55, when it says Israel and Judah shall be oppressed together. This is where we're oppressed together in these last days, or whatnot. That the Lord is going to rescue us from the hands of our enemies. We're in the land of the north, North America, along with Canada, South America. These are places that the Lord is going to rescue us because we're scattered among the four quarters of the earth. But the main place is Babylon the Great, aka America. You know what I'm saying? So-called America. The lands of the north. Knowing, and from all the lands whether He have driven them, all the lands that were scattered among two, the Lord is going to gather up the elect. And I will bring them again into the land that I gave into their fathers. Yeah. The Lord's going to bring us into our homeland. You know what I'm saying? To nation of Israel, showing you that, the people that's over there now can't be the people, because the Lord said He's going to bring us back into the land. Not we're going to catch planes and make up a law, the rite of passage bullshit, be 1948 is whatever. That's not, the way that the Lord said we were going to get back into the land. You know what I'm saying? The Lord Himself is going to rescue us from our enemies and take us back into the land. So that's how the people there now, they're imposters. This is Ezekiel, we'll start Ezekiel 37 and 21, which read, and say unto them, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whether they be gone, and will gather them on every side and bring them into their own land. So the Lord said he's going to do this. Again, this is a redundant thing we're reading here, showing you that it's the Lord rescuing his people in these last days from their enemies. Precept upon precept. These are end time prophecies here. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel. One king shall be king to them, or they, and they shall be no more two nations. Neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore at all. Yeah, because the northern and the southern kingdom is going to be joined together. We're not going to be a parted nation anymore. We're going to be as of one. There's not going to be a divide among the nations. We're just going to be the nation of Israel. And neither shall they defile themselves any more with idols, nor with detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions, but I will save them out of their dwelling places when they have sinned, and will cleanse them, so they shall be no slackish. They shall be my people, and I will be their power. Yeah, and that's that new covenant that the Lord is going to make with us, that we can't sin against Him. You know, as we read in Hebrews 8 and 8, you know, He's going to write in us that new covenant and give us our immortality. You know what I'm saying? That we can't turn against the Lord. Let's read on. Ezekiel 37:24, and David my servant shall be king over them, and they shall have one shepherd. They shall also walk in my judgments and observe my statutes and do them. Yeah, we're going to do, you know, fulfill the law as, you know, the Lord intended, because it's going to be written inside us and we can't go off. And David's going to be our king, showing you that the people over there can't be the real people because they're in the land and David's not there. He's not the king over there. That don't even make sense. But anyway, let's read on. And they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob, my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt, and they shall dwell therein, even they and their children and their children's children forever, and my servant David shall be their prince forever. Moreover, I will make a covenant of peace with them. It shall be an everlasting covenant with them, and I will place them and multiply them, and will set my sanctuary in the midst of them forevermore. My tabernacle also shall be with them. I will be their power, and they shall be my people. And the heathen shall know that I, the Lord, do sanctify Israel, when my sanctuary shall be in the midst of them forevermore. Yeah, and the heathen's going to know when the Lord take us out of this. When they see the Lord come in and rescue us from their hands, they're going to know that we're all the nation of Israel, and the Lord's going to establish that rulership within the nation of Israel, and it's going to be known that we're the people, and we're the new rulers of the earth. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's going to be known. The heathen going to know who the true people of the Lord is in that time. You know what I'm saying? Because He's going to restore us. Let's see. This is Ezekiel. What I want to do. This is Ezekiel 39 and 23, which reads, and the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity, because they trespassed against me. Therefore hid I my face from them, and gave them into the hand of their enemies. So fell they all by the sword. Yeah, so the Lord did this because we sinned against Him. You know what I'm saying? We're in the hands of the heathens because we sin against the Lord, and this is just the punishment that we're serving out here. But again, as you saw, as we read, the Lord is going to restore us. I mean, you're going to read it more so here. You know, with us going off, you know, the promise that the Lord gave unto us is to restore His people even after all our wickedness we done, because the Lord is gonna, He's gonna, take that out of the way and forgive His people and give them that everlasting salvation that He has promised unto them. Renewing, therefore, thus says the Lord, power. Now will I bring again the captivity of Jacob and have mercy upon the whole house of Israel, and will be jealous for my holy name. After that, they have home slack it. After that, they have borne their shame and all their trespass, whereby they have trespassed against me, when they dwelt safely in their land, and none made them afraid. When I have brought them again from the people and gathered them out of their enemies' lands, and am sanctified in them in the sight of many nations. Yeah, it's the Lord is going to rescue you from you fucking devils. You know what I'm saying? Renewing. Then shall they know that I am the Lord, their power, which causes them to be led into captivity. See, it's the Lord. We will give into the hands of our enemies at the Lord's hands. You know what I'm saying? Led into captivity among the heathen, but I have gathered them unto their own land, and have left none of them any more there. Neither will I hide my face any more from them, for I have poured out my spirit upon the house of Israel, saith the Lord power. So restoration is given, restoration of the nation of Israel is given by the hands of the Lord, and it's going to be brought forth by Yahweh Shai. And we're going to read that here. And this is Yahweh Shai speaking. This is Matthew 24 and 29, which read, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give in her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Yeah. So the Lord, after the tribulation of going through Jacob's trouble, and in the midst of World War III, when the sun and the moon, and this is literally too, because of all the destruction is going on, but it's also talking about going into the powers of heavens, which is these heathen nations, Esau, Edom, starting with Esau, Edom, the power of heavens, because he's in a heavenly role. He's in his heaven right now. He's in the power seat. You know what I'm saying? But the powers of heaven is going to be shaken, because the Lord is going to bring them down out of that power seat. You know what I'm saying? And him and all the other heathen nations are going to be taken out of the way. So they're not going to be in the power seat anymore. You know what I'm saying? And the moon, in their understanding, their wisdom, knowledge, and wisdom that was in the earth, that's going to be taken out of the way. And their destruction, and the stars falling from which is the nuclear missiles, bringing destruction upon this place, Babylon the Great, falling upon these heathens, bringing down their destructions. You know what I'm saying? So the what they call intercontinental ballistic missiles are part of the destruction, or part of the Lord's army that's going to bring destruction upon the heathen, especially Babylon the Great, because this place is going to be obliterated. You know what I'm saying? This place is going to be desolate. This place is going to be no more. The Lord is going to wipe this place out. You know what I'm saying? And this is that second death. That hellfire that the Lord is going to bring upon the earth. You know what I'm saying? Going into the lake of fire. You know what I'm saying? That these, even some of our people believe in this eternal fire that's going to be a place where people get tortured. But that's not what that's going into. You know what I'm saying? This lake of fire is this place right here, Babylon the Great, being obliterated, and a place of an altar set upon the Lord, what, as a burnt sacrifice for the wickedness that has been done by the nation of Israel, also in this captivity, but the great judgment of you heathen nations. That's the judgment that's going to be brought upon Esau. Even that's part of his curse, his judgment. You know what I'm saying? To be destroyed and taken out of the way, and which is going to bring the restoration or the rescue and the restoration of the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? Read knowing. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. Yeah. So if the Lord coming to rescue all the people, why does it say here that the tribes of the earth shall mourn? Why? Because it's time for them to reach their judgment. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord ain't coming to save everybody. The Lord is coming to save his people. You know what I'm saying? And he's coming in his chariot to bring destruction and to bring salvation into the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be like the scriptures say, uh, a new heaven and a new earth. You know what I'm saying? Going back into the powers of heaven, being shaken. This devil is gonna be taken out of the way or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And he's gonna lose his heavenly seat, his rulership, and a new rulership is gonna be brought in. You know what I'm saying? That's that new heaven and that new earth. And that new heaven and that new earth is going to be brought in by the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? That new Jerusalem that the scriptures go into. You know what I'm saying? That's that new heaven and new earth that's going to be ruled uh, by the nation of Israel. That new Jerusalem that's going to be placed upon the earth. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a new serpent town. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to be the new rulers of the earth. And because this devil, he's going to lose his power seat. You know what I'm saying? And part of that restoration, comes with him be taken out of the way and us being built up. You know what I'm saying? Reading on, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of the trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of the heaven to the other. Yeah. So the Lord is going around bringing destruction unto these heathens and these heathen nations, at the same time beaming up his elect souls amongst the four corners of the earth, saving them from the hands of our enemies, giving them their salvation. You know what I'm saying? The hopeful elect that is, scattered among the four corners of the earth, the Lord is going to rescue and beam them up into their ship. At the same time, bring destruction unto their enemies. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord is going to rescue us from our enemy as He intended. And then that's when the new power seat or the new reign is going to be in the world. You know what I'm saying? Because as I said before, as the scriptures say, Esau Edom is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. You know what I'm saying? That's that new heaven and new earth being, which placed upon the earth, which is that new rulership, that new heavenly rulership, that new reign under righteousness that's going to be given at the hands of Yahweh Shemashai by the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be the new rulers of the earth, and it's going to be ruled in a righteous state. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to be the only immortal people on the earth, because that's what the gift and the promise that the Lord has given them to His people, and that's why we had to go through all the suffering to receive it. You know what I'm saying? At His hand, the Lord brought us these things of this great destruction, and this us being in this lower state for our disobedience to Him. But at the end, He's still gonna remember His promise that He made to our forefathers and restore us, and we're going to be the new rulers upon the earth, and we're going to be in the righteous state. And He's going to wipe away our tears, for all the suffering that He gave unto us. But this is only a temporary thing, because our kingdom is going to be an everlasting kingdom that's going to be forever. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord had to fulfill His promise and allow these other nations to rule as well. You know what I'm saying? But at the end, you know, their rulership is temporary. Ours is everlasting. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the Lord being just. And, you know, we had to, you know, face our punishment for our wickedness that we done unto him. But at the end of the day, you know, we're going to be restored. And that's what we're coming into. You know, we're at the breaks of, you know, this devil system falling and, you know, the Lord bringing him great destruction and restoring his people. And that's pretty much it. I just hope the lesson be edifying. I just want to say, Koholo Yahweh Shem Shai, Kwame Shabbat, Abba Shabbat Shalom.